Welcome to this bone loading with balance class. We'll be using weights today. If you have 1 to 2 kilogram dumbbells, have those ready. I've got 1 kilo dumbbells here. Otherwise, you can use cans of food or bottles of water. You can also do the session without weights. Also, keep yourself safe. Don't do anything you don't feel safe doing. If you need to and if you know how to, you can either progress or modify an exercise. Otherwise, just wait it out till the next exercise. Starting with feet hip distance apart. Standing tall, all the fingers gently pressing into your waist. Tripod points of the feet connected to the floor, the balls of the big toes, little toes and the heels. Lift to the arches of the feet that travels up your inner thighs, through to the pelvis, through to the crown of the head, chest and collarbones wide. Take a big breath in into your side and your back ribs, reaching the crown of the head to the ceiling, while the tripod points of the feet stay connected to the floor, maintaining the lift of the arches of the feet. And exhale, funnel the air down throat to belly. Feel a sense that your two hips are coming together and a lift from your pubic bone towards your belly button. And we go again. A big breath in into your side, back ribs, crown of the head reaching to the ceiling, feet stay planted into the floor. And exhale, funnel the air down from throat to belly. Lifting the heels off the floor, coming up into a calf raise. And inhale to lower. Keep going, maintaining that sense of suspension from the ceiling as you lower the heels away from the head. Chest and collarbones stay wide. All the fingers gently pressing into your dumbbells. Ears stacked over shoulders, shoulders stacked over hips. Lifting evenly through the balls of the big toes and little toes. Last one. Hold at the bottom. And lifting now just one heel off the floor and lowering it back down, alternating side. Other heel up and lower it down. Continue pressing up evenly through the balls of the big toes and little toes, keeping the hips level as you go, maintaining that sense of suspension from the ceiling. Last one. Coming into a split stance now. I'm going to stand side on so you can more clearly see what I'm doing. With the back foot pointing forward, back heel down, back knee straight, front knee slightly bent, and two hips level. Chest and collarbones wide, coming to a hinge, sending the tailbone back, crown of the head forward, eyes looking diagonally down at the floor, and lifting and lowering the elbows into our rows. Keeping the elbows quite close to your body, and keeping the back of the neck lifting to the ceiling. Hips level. One more hold at the top, sending the hands away from your elbows now, keeping the upper arm stable. Still sensing the tripod points of the feet into the floor and the lift of the arches of the feet. Last one, hold the arms straight, turn your palms down. Take your arms out into a T position, reaching the knuckles out wide, and lower and lift the arms. Only as high as you can without losing a sense of width across your upper back. Last one, hold at the top, and tiny circles control from the very tops of your arms. Keeping the knuckles reaching out wide, reversing your circles now. And lower the arms back down. Press your front foot into the floor to unhinge and switch your stance over. As before, the back foot pointing forward, back knee straight, back heel down, two hips level, front knee slightly bent, width across your chest and your collarbones, upper body stacked, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and then that all stays the same. So we'll maintain the stacking as we come into our hinge, tailbone back, crown of the head forward, and going into our rows. Lift and lower the elbows, keeping quite close to your body, back of the neck feeling like it's lifting to the ceiling, eyes looking diagonally down at the floor. Last one, hold at the top, and bending and straightening the elbows, so sending your hands away from your elbows. The upper arm stays still. Holding the arms straight now, turning your palms down and reaching your arms out wide into a T to lower and lift the arms. Keep reaching the knuckles out wide, Maintaining all those set-up points, the tripod points of the feet, the back of the neck. Last one, hold at the top and making little circles, control from the very tops of the arms. Maintaining that sense of width and space across your upper back as you go, reversing the circles now. And lower the arms back down, press your front foot into the floor to unhinge. Bring your feet together. Put the dumbbells aside now. We're going to get down onto the floor, onto our hands and knees in quadruped. You can either be on your hands like this or on your fists if that suits you better. Either way, you're going to have your wrists right underneath your shoulders and your knees right underneath your hips to start with. Sense that your shoulder blades are flat to your back of the neck lifting to the ceiling, abdominals lifting away from the mat. Now you've got your neutral spine, that natural curve in your low back. Curl your toes under, and we're going to take the knees back to set up for a knee plank. So you want to get a straight line from your ears to your knees here. Take a breath in into your side back ribs. As you exhale, funnel the air down throat to belly, a sense of your abdominals lifting away from the floor. Now this may be enough of an exercise for you, so you can stay here and hold. If you'd like to progress it, we're going to send one heel back. Again, keeping the two hips level, bring that knee back in and send the other heel back. Now you could keep alternating legs, reaching heels back one at a time, or join me in a full plank as we exhale, funnel the air down throat to belly, deepen the abs, and lift the other knee. So you come up into your full plank and hold there. Heels reaching back, crown of the head reaching forward, shoulder blades flat to your back, abdominals lifting away from the floor. Holding for a couple of more breaths. Lower one knee down, then the other, and sitting on our sides next. We're going to be on our forearms for this one, for a side plank. Knees slightly bent, heels back in line with your body, with the top foot on the floor in front. The feet will be together, but the top foot will be in front. And find a line or create a line from your elbow, a straight line, elbow, ears, shoulders, hips, as if you're in between two panes of glass. Shoulders stacked and hips stacked. Press your bottom arm from your elbow to your fingers into the floor. Then imagine you're drawing that elbow in towards your bottom hip. Now press your bottom leg into the floor from your hip all the way to your foot and maintain that. Now, next progression. So you can either hold here if this is enough of an exercise for you. Otherwise, we're going to lift the hips up to the ceiling for the next progression. So when you're ready, lift and hold. Next progression, reach your hand, top hand to the ceiling. Arm feels heavy into your shoulder and hold. Next progression, straighten the top leg and hold. One more progression, we're going to lift the top leg to ceiling, just to hip height, sorry, not to ceiling, and hold. Feel length through your body as your top foot's reaching away, crown of the head in the opposite direction. Under waist feels like it's lifting, and then underneath hips working as well. Coming out of it, lowering the top leg down, bending the knee back in, lowering the top hand down, and lowering the hips down to the floor and flipping over for the other side. Again, create that line from your elbow, your hips, your shoulders, your ears, all in one straight line. And stacked as well. So shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. Your heels are back in line with your body, with the top foot on the floor in front. Pressing your bottom arm into the floor from your elbow to your fingertips. Press your bottom leg into the floor from your hip to your foot. Sense of dragging your bottom arm or your bottom elbow towards your hip. And this might be enough of an exercise for you, so hold here if it is. Otherwise, next progression, we're going to lift the hips up to the ceiling. Straight up, which you don't roll forward or backwards. Next progression, lifting the top arm to ceiling. Feeling that arm heavy into your shoulder. Next progression, we're going to straighten the top leg. Feeling like you're in between two panes of glass. And last progression, lift the top leg just to hip height. Foot reaching away, crown of the head reaching the opposite direction. Underneath waist supporting you and the underneath hip. And coming out, we're going to lower the top of the leg back to the floor, bend the knee back in, lower top hand back down, and lower the hips to the floor. And turning over onto our bottoms now, for back support. Starting with the basic version, the knees will be bent and feet hip distance apart. Hands will be, if you're on your hands will be a little bit behind your hips. Otherwise, if you're on your fists, the same, your fists will be a little bit behind your hips. Looking straight ahead, press your hands into the floor, then press your feet into the floor. So you should now feel like your shoulders are strong and the back of your legs are switched on. When you're ready, you're going to press both those into the floor again and lift the hips to the ceiling. And hold. And your head will be in a chest lift-like position. Holding for a couple of breaths. Tripod points of the feet again, evenly pressing into the floor and lowering back down. You can either do that one again or join me in the full back support. So straightening the legs are together this time. And again, we press the hands and the heels this time into the floor at the same time as we lift the hips to the ceiling. And hold. Again, your head will be in a chest-like position. Shoulders are strong, back of the legs are strong. Also can feel the inner thighs working as your legs are pressing together. And lowering back down. Walk your feet towards your body. We're going to get ready to stand up. And we're going to press ourselves up, trying to keep the back straight as we go. So press yourself up onto your feet, then press the feet into the floor to stand up. And grab your dumbbells again. I'm going to do a balancing exercise now. So starting with our feet hip distance apart, stacking the upper body is shoulders, hips, wide chest, wide collarbones. Bring your dumbbells to your sternum level. Elbows out wide, crown of the head reaching to the ceiling. Lift just one heel up off the floor now. We're going to send the opposite arm out. And we're going to look away from that long arm. Bring everything back to center. Lower that heel, lift the other heel up. Send the opposite arm out and look away from your long arm. Bring it back in. Lower the heel back down, progressing it now. We're going to lift the other heel again. And if you want to join me in this one, we're going to hover the foot just off the floor and hold. Again, we're going to send the opposite arm out long and look away from it. Bring everything back to center. Lower the foot back down and switch sides. Lift the other heel off the floor. When you're ready, if you'd like to progress, hover the foot off the floor. Send the opposite arm out long and look away from it. Bring everything back to center. Lower the foot back down. Lower your arms down by your sides. Find your stacking here is shoulders, hips, knees and ankles slightly forward, or fingers gently pressing into your dumbbells or your weights. Eyes looking straight ahead and maintaining that sense of suspension from the ceiling. And we are done. Thanks for joining, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that.